Okay, we're now moving into section 3.5, which to talk about the derivatives of the trigonometric functions. So we're going to start off with understanding what is the derivative of the sine function. What is the derivative with respect to x of the sine of x? It actually turns out that it's the cosine of x. The rate of change of the sine function is actually the cosine function. The instantaneous rate of change of the sine is the cosine. Just the derivative with respect to x of sine x is cosine of x. So I actually go through the proof here. Really all I want you to do is to know this. Okay, I go through the proof here, so take a look at that. I'm not going to go through it in detail with you, but you can write this out and you can see exactly how I do it. The proof is actually using the definition of the derivative. So this sine of x plus h, we have to use the double angle identity, or write sine of alpha plus beta is sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. So in this case it's x and h, so it's sine x cosine h plus cosine x sine h. You can see that I can factor a sine of x out of the first term and the third term here. So sine x times cosine h minus 1. I have 1 over h times all of this. So this limit here goes to 0. Sine of h over h goes to 1. We know those are two of the special limits. So the bottom line is it comes out to be cosine of x. Likewise, if I take the derivative of the cosine of x, that turns out to be minus sine x. And it's again coming up with those two important limits that help us figure it out. I just need you to know those two derivatives. Once I know the derivative of sine x and the cosine of x, right? Derivative of sine x is cosine of x, the derivative of cosine of x is minus sine x. Then I can use other rules to find the derivatives of the other four trig functions, because they all can be written in terms of sine and cosine. So for example, if I want the derivative with respect to x of tangent of x, well, tangent of x I know is sine of x over cosine of x. So derivative with respect to x of sine x over cosine of x, that's a quotient. So I'm going to use the quotient rule. Low d high minus high d low over low low, or low squared. So it's cosine of x times the derivative of sine of x, which is cosine of x, minus sine of x times the derivative of cosine of x, which is minus sine of x. So that becomes cosine squared x plus sine squared x over low low, which is cosine squared x. Notice that cosine squared x plus sine squared x is the Pythagorean identity. That's 1. So 1 divided by cosine squared x is secant squared x. So you can kind of see that's really a proof for what's the derivative of the tangent of x, given that I knew the derivative of sine of x was cosine of x and the derivative of cosine of x was minus sine x. Bottom line is, I need you guys to memorize the derivatives of the 6 trig functions. Or if you're not going to memorize them, put them on your cheat card that you get for the exams.